Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? When 46 became president, America was on a solid footing. Inflation was under control. We were energy independent. The price of gas was under $2, and things in America were great. Now, most of that has been undone. Nothing is being done about it. This is like a nightmare in which you are terrified only to awake and be thankful that it was only a dream. But the present nightmare is no dream, and things are only getting worse here. Will someone wake me from this nightmare? While 45 was president, nearly 500 miles of wall were being built. 46 opened everything up and invited all to come. And they're getting in by the millions. When 46 became president, America was energy independent. We were selling energy abroad. But he stopped the construction of oil pipelines, stopped drilling on public lands, began a campaign against fossil fuels, the very product that has made America great. Please, wake me up from this nightmare. While 45 was in office, you pretty much were permitted to say whatever you knew to be true. Free speech was not hindered. Now, you could be fired for simply pointing out something destructive, but you know it's to be true. This includes issues in all aspects of every category, even those that I cannot say out loud because I will get a medical misinformation on this strike, and I cannot and will not take that chance. I'm definitely still in this nightmare. 46 has made it clear that he supports going to zero carbon emissions that would eliminate all use of coal and fossil fuels. Natural gas is used to make fertilizer, which is very important to agriculture. Over 6,000 things that we use on a daily basis are made from oil. Wind and solar will never take the place of coal-fired or natural gas-fired energy generation. Electric cars will soon be a national disaster because they are useless during a time of disaster with no electricity available. It is not possible to build batteries large enough to carry a city during times when the sun does not shine nor the wind blow. Several have testified that this administration's family received 5 million, 10 million from foreign governments, which is illegal, or more exactly. But nothing has been done about it. The son cheats on his taxes and lies on his application for a pew-pew permit. Yet he gets a very light sentence. Now, if that was you or I don't even want to think about it. There seems to be a two-tier justice system here. Have you woken up from this nightmare yet? This here is considerable evidence that the past two selections, I'll put it to you that way, were rigged against one side, not the other. The red, not the blue. Yet, no measures are taken to ensure this does not happen again. If this is not corrected, it could spell the end of our constitutional republic. Under 45, there was little inflation. Prices were fairly stable. 46 has spent billions just printing money. This is classic inflation. and is hurting everyone with higher prices for everything from food to hardware. This is especially true for gas, the price of which is also affected by 46's energy policies. Now, under 45, religious expression was protected. Now, we see FBI agents infiltrating Catholic churches and reporting on un-American activities. Freedom of religion is attacked on several fronts. Our clear First Amendment rights are not protected. In at least one town, people rode bikes through its streets, totally naked. Ugh. With prayer and Bible reading no longer permitted in our schools. Our schools no longer have a moral compass. What has historically been considered a disgrace is now just another person's freedom of expression. This here is madness. Not long ago, most Americans were patriotic. Now statues are being torn down. The American flag is defaced and no longer respected. Another flag is being displayed above the American flag at the White House. Children no longer pledge the flag in their schools. None of this can be considered constructive action. Patriotic Americans have protested over various policies, spoken up at school board meetings, and taken stands for righteousness. And these have been called domestic terrorists by our government. Others have destroyed businesses. They've burned down whole sections of towns, and these are called peaceful protests. Some have been arrested and their bail paid by Democrats, and this is insane. Most of our schools were shut down during the recent pandemic, and children lost time that can never be made up. Academic achievement has stalled, and the only answer educators seem to know is just to spend more money on education. They do not seem to consider that quality education is taking place at a much reduced price. Our schools have lost any clear moral direction. Even worse, our children are taught to hate our national heroes. 45 had plans to leave Afghanistan in an orderly fashion. Remember that? But 46 abandoned our military airport, left Afghanistan without telling our allies, was responsible for the death of 13 soldiers, and left behind billions of state-of-the-art military equipment. Even some Americans were left behind. This is a serious crime. 45 strongly supported the Second Amendment, but 46 has worked hard to undermine our Second Amendment rights. In the past, I have worked with many Democrats for several years and considered them to be both logical and sane. But yet what is happening right now is mostly blue-led states, cities, is neither logical nor sane. It has to be obvious to any thinking person that if America continues down our present path, we will be easy game for a foreign power, and our great republic will be destroyed. This has to stop. It has to stop now, and it begins with some patriotic Americans, Democrats, retaking control of their party, and stop this madness now. This is not just a nightmare that will go away when we wake up. You can't pinch yourself and say, "Oh, I'm awake." No. This is a terrible national condition that must be remedied before it is too late. Things are moving so rapidly toward destruction that we may not survive until the next selection. We have to wake up from this madness. We have to. I'll see you in the next one, guys. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.